Hey, as we talk about your most accurate forecast, let's talk about what's happening not just here in our state, but across the country, right? Because there's a lot of big weather stories, that's for sure. But if you are waking up with us early at 4:49, maybe you want to get outside, get some outdoor activities in, whether it's running, hiking, or biking. It's going to be a great morning for it. Our sunrise happens at around 6:12, so just know that we'll likely start to see some of that daylight closer to about 6 o'clock here this morning. But temperatures will be in the 70s to 80s. We'll see the 90s by around 10 a.m. So if you aren't too comfortable getting outside for those more strenuous activities when it hits the 90s, then again, do it over the next few hours, that's for sure. And just use caution, make sure that you're taking plenty of water with you. Look at those conditions around the valley. We're talking 70s to 80s valley-wide right now. It's 79 in Gilbert, 78 in Peoria. We're at 78 in Deer Valley, and we're at 80 in Scottsdale, Tempe, and Ahwatukee. But I do think those spots will start to dip down into the upper 70s, at least briefly, as we approach sunrise, which is right around when we see the coolest temperatures of the day. 82 our temperature now in Phoenix, but I do think we're going to cool a little further, even at Phoenix Sky Harbor. It's 64 in Prescott, 71 in Kingman, and Flagstaff. You're down into the 30s here this morning, waking up to 39 degrees, so it's sweater weather in the high country here this morning. Here's how today shapes up. Again, our sun comes up at around 6:12. Temperatures will be at their coolest point by then, and then we start to warm back into the mid-80s by around 8 o'clock, into the 90s then by around 10 o'clock, and then upper 90s by lunchtime. We're heading back into the hundreds today too. Today nearly as hot as it was yesterday, with a high of 104 in Phoenix, and we'll see that high temperature peak at around 4 o'clock here this afternoon. Sun will set at 6:34 rather, and that temperature right around 100 degrees around sunset before we dip back down into the 90s. So today's still above average. Our 30-year average high temperature is 100. We're running about 3 to 4 degrees above the average high for this time of year. Mesa hits 104, Tempe up to 104, Ahwatukee at 104, and Goodyear hits 104. Meanwhile, we'll make it up to 103 in Peoria, only 100 today in Anthem and in Cave Creek. As you look at those temperatures across the state, upper 80s today for Payson, low 90s in Sedona. And we'll make it into the upper 70s today in Flagstaff, 81 for a high in Show Low. We're waking up to clear conditions across the state now, and today, for the most part, look for mostly sunny skies. There's just a very slight chance of a few pop-up showers over the higher terrain north and east of the valley. So we'll see a few showers pop up there, but for the Phoenix area, looking for sunny conditions. We've got dry conditions across the western U.S. as high pressure dominates. We're also watching Hurricane Sally, which is getting closer and closer to that Mississippi-Alabama coastline. It is going to be a slow mover, but it is a hurricane category 1, and it is still expected to bring potentially historic flooding to either Alabama and Mississippi, very heavy rain, and a deadly storm surge. So we'll be watching that today. I think that'll make landfall here sometime later today into tonight. Meanwhile, back here at home, nothing but sunshine through the end of the week and the weekend. Temperatures getting hotter. 107 Wednesday, 108 on Thursday, but then we'll see those temperatures drop a few degrees by the weekend.